Coming up tonight, murder count climbs, a double shooting leaving one man dead and another in hospital. Plus, a plea to parliamentarians, the Christian Council calling for an all-hands-on-deck approach to the issue of crime. And later, a Grand Bahamian recording artist has a new song just in time for Valentine's Day. The message, sometimes you're just a fool for love. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Another wave of violence in the capital this afternoon as two men opened fire on another pair of men. This broad daylight shooting in the Pinewood community leaving one man dead and another in hospital. Our Jean Joseph was on that scene and has the details.
Pinewood Gardens residents recall hearing firecrackers, but they soon learned that the afternoon had turned bloody, with two men shot. One in hospital, fighting for his life, and the other dead after only returning to Nassau for a funeral.
Friday night after leaving work, I walked right into another homicide, and then today after church, I heard the noise, but I thought it was firecrackers, and I'm just dumbfounded to see in the day that this is happening.
That was the voice of a 40-year resident of the area, describing the moment he heard gunfire ringing out in his community. Chief Superintendent of Police, Chrislyn Skippings, says police are still in the early stages of their investigation and they have not yet established a relationship between the injured man and the deceased.
So we are actively pursuing two males who were responsible for this incident, who were in a Nissan vehicle. One of the males was armed with a high-powered weapon, the other with a handgun. And they opened fire on the two males, which resulted in one of the males succumbing to his injuries.
Police are searching for the suspects believed to be responsible for this latest incidence of gun violence.
The deceased came in from Freeport to attend the funeral of a relative who was shot and killed during the latter part of last month. And I will limit my comments to just that as it relates to that incident.
Skippings adding that police will use all available channels to help solve this latest crime, including CCTV footage, through their recently released Future system. She is also urging residents to alert authorities of illegal activities.
To those persons who reside in the area who have information that can assist with us, removing firearms or drugs from the streets, as in any community, I welcome them to contact the police and provide us with that information.
Residents of the area were visibly disturbed by this horrific daylight shooting. James Newry Sr., pastor of Calvary Deliverance Church, East Street South, on the scene to console a relative of one of the victims. Newry says he was shocked at the news as he had just seen the victim in church.
He was to church a couple of minutes ago, and so it's unbelievable. I call on the authorities, the government of the Bahamas, to carry out capital punishment. It's on the books. This must stop. I just saw this guy a minute ago. He just came in from off one of the keys. And so it's amazing that we have this carnage that continuously ruining this country.
Anyone with information about this or any other recent crimes should call the police at 911, 919, or 502-9991 or 2. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jean Joseph.
The capital recording its first traffic fatality of 2024 this evening. Police tell us that a young man believed to be in his 20s lost control of his motorcycle and was thrown off onto John F. Kennedy Drive west of Gladstone Road around 4:15 this afternoon. Police also telling media on the scene that they are still in preliminary stages of the investigation. However, they are urging motorists, especially motorcyclists, to drive with care. Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs staff engaged in a professional development at Bahamas Symposium this week. Attorney General Ryan Pinder emphasizing the importance of such events and seminars in keeping staff sharp.
Focuses on team building, focuses on building a vision, developing leadership traits. And entering the new year, we thought it was very important to have the members of the Office of the Attorney General get the training and the exposure necessary. the component, I made the point inside, the components in the portfolio of the Office of the Attorney General is constantly under pressure, constantly looking for quick turnarounds and advice that is correct in law.
The timeliness of this turnaround is something that sometimes frustrates residents. Pinder says despite this, he stands behind the work of his office.
I think that we are actually very efficient in terms of turnaround. I made the joke inside that when colleagues have a delay, they always say it's on the desk of the Attorney General or it's in the Office of the Attorney General. And that's okay. But we turn around the matters for the government of the Bahamas very expeditiously. We're all very hard-working individuals, and we're all doing it for the betterment of our society.
Meantime, Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernando calling for unity in his sermon to parliamentarians as they officially launch the 2024 session. Under the theme, Let's Build Together, Fernando touched on the surge in crime, saying it's everyone's problem.
There's not a PLP crime problem. It's not an F&M crime problem. It's a Bahamian crime problem. And all of us must see the need to work together, to work for the common cause, that is, to collaborate and make our democracy and that which we do stronger than it's ever been before.
His message came hours ahead of 2 murders in New Providence and 1 in Abaco the night before. Fernando joins the chorus of leaders calling for an all-hands-on-deck approach to the crime issue. The Christian Council president encouraged parliamentarians to keep on working.
There will always be somebody. There'll always be those criticizing the work you do, but keep on working. There'll always be someone talking bad about you, but keep on standing. There'll always be people who are saying you never did anything good, but know that you've done the best that you can with what you've had. That when you've given the best of your service to your country and your God, lift up your head with pride and said, I did the best I could with what God had given me time to do.
And well-known pastor and community leader in Abaco, Pastor Silbert Mills, weighing in on the scourge of murders in the country. This after that Northern Ireland recorded its first murder on Tuesday night. Mills says he believes there is a lack of respect for the preamble of the Constitution, which speaks to an abiding respect for Christian values and an abiding respect for law.
If we get back to that statement that we will have an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law, and that there will be a supremacy of God always in our nation, I believe things will get better. There's no question in my mind that we have moved the old landmark and our leaders have distanced themselves from that commitment and covenant they made for us to have an abiding respect for Christian values.
He says everyone must do all they can to put an end to the violence and murders on our streets. However, he says blaming the church is not the answer.
And I think when we get back to that and our parents start saying to our children, you're going to church, you don't have an option in it, bring these children up in the fear and admonition of the Lord, and we will have a better community and stop blaming the church. The church's doors are open. You've just stopped sending your children to church. You've stopped coming to church. And as a result of that, this is what we have to face.
Well, lots more news to share with you tonight. But first, meteorologist Ian McKenzie joins us now with your first look at weather. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to our Sunday evening forecast. Currently outside our studios, we're under cloudy skies with a temperature of 78. Feels like temperature slightly high at 71. Those winds are pretty brisk out of the northeast at 20 miles per hour. Current temperatures across the country at this time: the cool spot, Freeport, nation's second city at 61, 62 in Marsh Harbor, 67 in Allenstown, Bimini, 66 in Great Harbor Key, 67 in Nicholstown, Andros, 68 in the capital and in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. For the central Bahamas, we have 70 in Camps Bay, 68 in Arthurstown, Kid Island, 72 in Georgetown, 73 in Deadman's Key, and 69 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. In the southeast Bahamas, we have 74 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Delectable Bay, and Abrahams Bay, 72 in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, 77 in Matthewtown and Agua, and 76 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Taking a first look now at our satellite and radar imagery, where we have a jet and that's just a fast-moving area across the northwest Bahamas. Some cloudiness associated with it, but for your flying public, that's going to create some turbulence. Stick around for extended forecast. That's still to come.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, an international fraternity partnering with local Bahamians to take a stand against crime. Plus, good corporate citizens. Bahamas Striping honored recently for their contributions to nation building. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
A local fraternity is heeding the call of lawmakers and anti-crime advocacy groups for a collective fight against violence. This as the murder rate has climbed into the double digits in the first 2 weeks of 2024. Bahamas State Director for Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Rodney Bain, says the organization is stepping up its presence in the community, doubling down on its commitment to service and mentorship efforts through its youth auxiliary arm, the Sigma Beta Club.
So our local brothers here, we're big on mentorship, we're big on scholarship, we're big on service. One of the things that we have here is the Sigma Beta program. And what the Sigma Beta Club is just mentoring young men to give them a better direction, give them a better chance, and give them a better chance of life.
The organization, founded January 9th in 1914, has spread across the globe and has 3 chapters across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Beta Beta Lambda undergraduate chapter at University of the Bahamas, the New Providence-based Delta Epsilon Sigma graduate chapter, and the Grand Bahama Omicron Pi Sigma graduate chapter. Bain says while the organization has a worldview, the focus is on changing lives here at home.
Service starts at home. So if we can now show that, hey, I know how to resolve a conflict, we can teach another person how to resolve a conflict. And it's our hope that can now mushroom into something and say, hey, it's a safe environment for our sons and our daughters and a safe environment for us. Because our same young man we do not mentor, be the same young man committing a crime. The same young girl we don't mentor, be the same young girl committing a crime. So we have a vested interest in our country. Now I saw in the Bahamas when it's so big. So that same child who we didn't take the time of can see us later down the road. So here at Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, we want to land the fact that we are men. Not just college-educated men, but we're community-minded men to say, let's now make our community better.
Bahamas Striping group of companies recently honored by the Jones Communications Network. They were selected as the JCN's Person of the Year in Civil Society Awards and 2023 Business of the Year. The awards have been a signature component of JCN's media brand for the past 2 decades. Spokesperson Christian Jones highlighting some of Bahamas Striping's contributions to the country last year.
They were able to recognize the importance of a robust and resilient economy and were able to access $200 million from local and international capital markets to fund crucial infrastructural projects as government funds were limited. Their track record, especially the construction of roads in Eleuthera and Exuma, and their benevolence in many community projects, including the construction of the Nassau Village Community Center.
Bahamas Striping General Manager Melanie Roach and President Atario Mitchell grateful for the honor.
We work together very strongly as a team and pitch in wherever is necessary, particularly when it comes to the philanthropic works that we undertake. For example, the Thanksgiving meals, everybody in the company was involved.
This award has boost company morale from top to bottom because it shows that the work that we have put in, the dedication and the work that we have put in for 2023 has not been unnoticed. And it shows that once you are willing to dedicate yourself to the company, I guess, vision, and it would pay off.
When our news weekend comes back from the break, it's culture time on Bay once again. School students are gearing up for Junior Junkanoo, and it's time for you to get your tickets. Plus, keep it clean, green, and pristine. We'll tell you about a service organization's efforts to keep local beaches beautiful. We have the details when our news weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back. Bay Street set to come alive with Bahamian culture once again, with less than a week to the 2024 Junior Junkanoo Parade to be held this coming Thursday. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Boleg is encouraging nationwide support for the youth involvement in strengthening our cultural expression. Last year, 13 schools, including 2 community groups, hit Bay Street. One-on-One claimed a first prize in the preschool division, while Centerville Primary School took the top prize in the primary school division. And emerging victorious in the high school division was CV Bethel Senior High. Boleg says you should get your tickets right now.
The Junkanoo tickets for Junior Junkanoo go on sale on Monday the 22nd, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the ticket sales are $5 for the regular season. Of course, Russell Square will be $10. And so we ask the persons to go and get your ticket as early as possible, 10 to 4 at the lobby in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture.
Well, hundreds of Sigma men from Florida joined forces with local Delta Epsilon Sigma graduate chapter and Beta Beta Lambda undergraduate chapter at the University of the Bahamas for a Junkanoo Beach cleanup. Daniel Smith, the fraternity's 29th Florida State Director, says nearly 300 members, along with their families and friends, traveled to the Bahamas for the annual Florida State Conference, but made time to give back to the community.
So we are out here doing a beach cleanup with our brothers from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas because we came over as part of our state conference that we do every year. But this year we did our state conference on a cruise ship, and it allowed us to be here in Nassau. So any part of our state conference, we try to do community service. So we wanted to make sure we connected with our brothers of the Bahamas to be out here today.
Eric Farmer, Sigma's Southern Region Director, says initiatives like these are one of the organization's pillars, and the service project is an extension of efforts that are undertaken in Sigma chapters worldwide, from the Americas to Asia.
We do several projects across South Florida similar to this in regards to beach cleanup, community service, going out to do things in the community. The significance of this is really just showing that we have a greater need in our communities, and we want to be able to make sure that we service those communities well.
On the other side of this break, we've got a new music video especially for the lovers. Plus, it features a Bahamian musical icon. You won't want to miss it. Stick with us.
When the world bid a final farewell to Britain's longest reigning monarch, we were there. A moment of global solemnity that won't soon be forgotten. And when it was time to crown a new king in the first coronation in 50 years, our news was there to the end. These stories shape our view of the world, a view that goes beyond our borders, because our news is all around us. This is our story. This is our news, always there when it counts.
Welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us. 8 Bahamian playwrights and TV filmmakers hailing from New Providence, Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, and Exuma have entered the finals of the Star Film Institute Competition's 2023-2024 season. President of the Star Film Institute, Karel Pinder, paints a picture of the journey.
This was an idea that we started as a nonprofit venture with several creatives last year in 2023, and we were able to send out a call for producers who were interested in producing a comedy pilot or a drama pilot or a stage play. And we have 3 finalists in each category and 2 finalists in the playwright category. And they have spent time taking their scripts to building a team, to going fully and creating a full project that will be seen at the beginning of March.
Ministry of Tourism consultant Randy Roll is responsible for the film policy of the Bahamas within the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister and says this kind of skill building competition is exactly what the Bahamian film industry needs.
It's exciting times because we need to have persons in the pipeline. You know, there are many producers and films who want to come to the Bahamas, but the thing has always been whether they can find talent in the Bahamas. I think this is one of the steps in the right direction that shows that, listen, we have some good talent right here in the Bahamas. And so it was exciting to work along with her. We have contacted some of our relationships in the U.S. and so we're pleased to announce that she has 3 judges, all who have played a very important role within the industry.
Well, we are officially winding down from another beautiful weekend. As to what you can expect weather-wise for the week ahead, Ian McKinsey is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Ian.
Thanks, Megan. Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look now at your extended forecast where we have high pressure. It's dominating conditions across our country. Still have few cloudiness across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Nothing much dry conditions, cool, lovely weather. Boating forecasts, not too good out there. Small craft advisory remain in port. Winds northeast, east 20 to 25 knots, gusting high at times. Seas 6 to 9, but up to 10 feet offshore and northeast easterly swells. Low tide at 10:39 p.m. tonight. High tide at 5:14 a.m. tomorrow morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. And in your extended forecast, cloudy, windy conditions are expected pretty much through most of the week. We're looking at uncomfortable boating conditions, marine conditions. Beachgoers, we're asking you guys to remain on shore. Small craft operators remain in port. Comfortable temperatures, but that should begin to change come midweek when we expect the winds to come out of the east. So we're looking at warming temperatures into the low 80s. But before that, cool temperatures nighttime, 69s, probably even 50s in the extreme northwest Bahamas, that's Grand Bahama, Abaco area. So we're looking forward to a comfortable week, warming trend, and then cool down again by the end of the week. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thanks, Ian. Well, love. Sometimes it makes us all do crazy things. And Bahamian recording artist Sherrod Taylor has put his story of love's ups and downs into his newest single, Just a Fool. The Rake and Scrape song features the vocals of veteran artist Veronica Bishop. Taylor says if you've ever been in love, well, this song is sure to hit home.
It's like a toxic relationship almost. You know, when you can't live with them, but you can't live without them. But it also points on the point of communication, how important communication is in relationships. So there's a part of the song where if you hear it, me and Veronica, we go back and forth, basically saying what we expect from each other. You know, the vibe of the song definitely is Rake and Scrape. It's a Rake and Scrape song. It can take you back, it can take you to the homecoming and regatta feel, you know? It's literally a homecoming and regatta song. As soon as you hear the first beat, you can start dancing.
The song was released on January 5th, and Taylor says streams are already going well.
Online streams have been going really good. Online streams on Spotify are up. Apple Music, it's up. So, I mean, the release has been going good worldwide. I mean, I have streams from Germany, streams in the UK, Canada, so it's not just the Bahamas, it's worldwide.
Now, Taylor released his first song in 2022 titled Junk New Party. He says since then, his personal journey as an artist has been an exciting one of growth.
From there, you know, it's been building, like slowly building and trying to gain traction. Last year, I did a song with Sweet Emily, which was amazing, called They Ain't Your Friend. And then this year release is with Veronica Bishop, which was amazing. Both ladies are top class, you know? And so to work with them and to learn from them was such a big experience. Like I learned a lot, and it was so nice to be able to learn from them and then in turn teach them the new things that I've learned as well. So
Thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening.